Hey guys, so today I'm here with an overview of the Wii Remote Plus, as well as the release date, pricing, and quite a few really interesting details about the Nintendo 3DS. So I have to excuse me if I don't look quite normal. It's very late here right now. And in fact, Nintendo just finished up their conference over in Japan. So let's go ahead and just take a look at what all they announced. So the first thing, not really that big a deal, is that they have redesigned the Wii Remote. So I'm sure as many of you guys know, there's an accessory where you go ahead and plug it into the back. It's called the Wii Motion Plus. Well, pretty much all the only change is that now it is going to be integrated into the Wii console itself, or rather the Wii Remote. So not a huge deal, and in fact we don't actually have an exact date of when this is going to be coming out. But again, not that big a deal. Now what is a big deal is all the new information we have on the Nintendo 3DS. So actually they announced quite a few really unique and interesting things. But first let's go ahead and just talk about what I'm sure most of you guys are interested in, which is pricing and release date. So the release date is going to be February 2011 for Japan and March 2011 for the US as well as Europe. So yeah, not that great of news. That was pretty much the kind of, far out what we were expecting. Personally, I was hoping that we would maybe see it this year, but not that big a deal. Now, as far as pricing goes, they didn't actually announce what the price would be for Europe and the United States. However, it's going to be roughly, in US dollars, it's going to be roughly about $300 in Japan. Personally, I think it might be just a little bit less than that, perhaps around $250, maybe $300. So it's we're gonna have to wait a little bit longer to see what exactly the price is going to be. But it is going to be quite a bit more than what you might find a DS for today. Now let's go ahead and go on to some of the really cool and unique features of the 3DS. So one of them, and this one kind of got me pretty excited, I wasn't really expecting it, is that it is actually going to have a virtual console, very similar to the Wii, which will be able to play Nintendo Game Boy games. So I do want to clarify, this is not going to, it's not going to have like the DS where a cartridge, but instead you're going to go ahead and download these games, I'm sure, for how many ever Wii points or whatever they decide to call them. So this is definitely really cool news. I'm really glad that they are bringing some of the Game Boy games back. Another really interesting feature is that the 3DS is actually going to support Miis. So if you don't know what Miis are, basically if you've ever played the Wii, you create those customized little characters. Well, the 3DS is going to have these, but it's actually going to be improved a little bit. As basically you can actually go ahead and with the 3DS take a picture of yourself, and then it will create a Mii for you. Personally, not a huge deal. I mean, yeah, they're kind of fun to play with, like on the Wii they were fun to play with for a few minutes. I'm sure it'll be kind of nice to have your own custom avatar, and if assuming it's fairly accurate, take a picture of yourself, that's pretty cool. So guys, that's pretty much it. There was a few other things. The 3DS, including that the 3DS will actually come with a 2 GB SD card pre-installed. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. Anyway, guys, I'm really pretty excited to know that, the 3DS is going to be able to support Game Boy games, and that it does look pretty much the same. The final design is practically exactly what we've seen, so they didn't, change it up like they did with the DS. Not really all that excited that we're going to have to wait until February for Japan and March for the United States and Europe, but not that big a deal. So anyway guys, definitely leave your thoughts in the comments. What are you thinking? Are you looking forward to the 3DS now? We have a release date and somewhat of a price. So yeah, anyway guys, thanks for watching.